Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Monday, April 15th, 2019. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. You know how some people hear their alarm and jump right out of bed, ready to sprint to the rest of their day? Well, something tells me that Camile Periat is one of those people. On Monday, a new clip emerged of the 5-time bikini champ busting out a few sets of hams and glutes as she starts to get herself ready for phase 2 of her 2019 program. Up to this point, Camile's had a pretty strong start to the year, which seems like it's just par for the course with her. But after she gets her feet wet for the first time, that's usually when we start to see her really start to hit her stride. In the business world, they like to say that first impressions are everything. But for me, what you do the second time around is just as important, because anyone can fake it until they make it once, if they try hard enough. But luckily for her, it looks like second-year bikini star Dara Diaz is about to bring the heat to her sophomore season. Over the weekend, the Diaz camp released a clip of their star pupil getting after it at the East Coast Mecca, where she's been putting in a few extra hours of sweat equity lately. For a minute there last year, Diaz was one of the hottest athletes in the entire division. So if an improved version of that shows up right from the jump, she'll create some serious problems regardless of whoever else she's out there on stage with. Sometimes when I'm watching old boxing fights, I'll wonder how scared some of these fighters must have been, standing across the ring from a caged animal like a young Mike Tyson, knowing they were about to get their faces ripped off. And if I were a 212 athlete, I think I'd probably feel that same way staring over at Hottie Shubin, because that guy is about as scary as it gets. Recently, we caught wind of a rumor that Hottie was already prepping for his first show of the season, which is allegedly supposedly supposed to happen sometime within the next 6 weeks or so. At this point, the legend of Hadi Choopan is almost like the 212 version of Bigfoot, since we hear about him competing more than anyone actually sees him. But if he does creep out of the forest to drop in and steal a win somewhere, all those old conversations about him being the uncrowned Olympia champ will probably start popping up once again. One of the big ticket items on the docket for this weekend is the St. Louis Pro, where everyone in the women's physique division will be all hands on deck since Natalia Coelho announced she was planning to bring her talents to the Midwest for the first time this year. The reigning Arnold Classic champ is looking as good as we've seen her all year long, which is a testament to how hard she's been working over the month or so since she wrapped up that incredible weekend in Columbus. At this point, a 100% Natalia Quello is one of the 2 best athletes in the division. So if she comes in at her all-time best, all we're really talking about from here on out is how everyone else there should be competing for second place. In most sports, there aren't too many cases of a champion losing their title after a long run, only to turn around and win it back because the next time around they came back better than they've ever been. But maybe there's an outside chance a guy as talented as Phil Heath could actually do it. Recently, the 7-time Olympia champ dropped a few hints on a social media post that he might be tossing around the idea of a comeback, saying, quote, "All I can say is I'm back and eager to get even bigger and better real soon." I guess what he actually meant by that could be up for interpretation, but to me it seems pretty clear cut. But for now, we'll just have to take a wait and see approach, because what happens over the next 2 or 3 months will tell us everything we need to know. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.